Okay. Next question. To what extent do the priorities outlined, the 8 priorities, to what extent are they catered for in the planning of the town? All in favor of us raising that question? Quick show of hands.
How many things
Okay, 1. Okay.
You can vote twice.
Yeah,
Yes, you can vote twice.
One, two questions.
I haven't understood that question.
Okay, so you wouldn't vote for it in that case, or? Vote? Okay.
Madam,
And then we have a
happens
question.
to culture?
No, no. Got the most votes, the issue of the clearinghouse and the issue of the priorities and how they are catered for in the planning. Those are the 2 questions that for this round we are going to take forward.
We voted culture. So
Eh.
what happened?
It got some votes.
It got some votes, but not enough.
The law is,
Yes, to go forward as a question.
in fact, it is
What
good.
else do you vote on culture? Culture.
Clearinghouse. Okay, so we can take that forward. Okay, and I will ask our colleague to raise that in the plenary. Okay, thank you. The next question that we have in terms of the votes is, to what extent do the priorities outlined in the infrastructure guide, to what extent are they catered for in planning for the town? Is that the question that we are taking forward?
Yes.
Okay, that's the wording. Everyone is happy with it? Okay, so to what extent are the priorities outlined in the infrastructure section catered for in the planning of the town? Okay?
Madam, can I also take the issue of culture to the
No, because we can only take 2 questions, okay? For this round, we can only take 2 questions, and I'll ask our colleague to raise that in the plenary. Okay.
People who have been approved as the questioners would take those questions and their session moderator, and then they would get up. Who are the 2 people? Yes. So each of you would be called on, representing this group. Let's pretend this is group 7. So group 7, and you from group 7, you would call, and you would present the question, and then there would be answers from competing experts to those questions. And then, yeah?
So do the rest of the small group members, they are locked out of this plenary?
No, they're all
So
there.
if they are part of
Everybody is there.
If they are part of this plenary,
Yeah.
what makes it difficult for a difficult person like this guy here? Smuggle in his cultural question.
No. Because what happens is, the moderator of the plenary session, what name are you going by in this in this mock deliberation?
Myself?
Yeah. Your regular name?
I'm Lynn.
Okay, Lynn. So the moderator would call on Lynn from group 7. Okay. So the moderator will say there are no volunteer questions from the floor, because we owe it to all the groups that worked hard to develop their agreed questions to present as many of those as possible. So if there's another question that didn't get selected, or somebody else just wants to say something, no. Because we first have to get through all the questions, or as many as possible, the questions that the group worked very hard to agree on and develop. Because those were the questions that the groups agreed were the most important for them to think about. So the process is is organized in a certain way so that people get the answers that they really want. So, yeah.
I very much worry about the frustrations that might emerge from the group with some strong character people, because it could be that
Especially this
Well,
country.
some world status in community.
Yes, the big
And
status now.
unfortunately, he's a cultural leader. Unfortunately, he was not able to articulate himself.
Well, it doesn't mean his question wasn't important. It's just that the group as a whole wanted to hear something else, and so we try our best to get.
So are there some techniques of when we
Seated in the audience, and the group got through. The plenary session, they got through all the questions, and this woman raised her hand and she said, I happen to be sitting near the moderator of her small group, And that moderator said to me that at the beginning of the weekend, this was a whole weekend-long project, Friday, all day Saturday, part of Sunday. At the beginning of the weekend, she said, that woman was so shy that she, the moderator, she knew it was a good question because the group had agreed on it. But secondly, she took so seriously the fact that she was going to ask that question with the agreed wording that she'd been practicing it. And she was determined that she was practicing it, that she was going to get to ask her question. And she did, and it was a good question. But I'll never forget that because it was the transformation. She had the power of the whole group behind her. Plenary, they'd probably have lunch and continue talking. Sometimes we even try to seat the groups either at lunch or dinner in there. People won't change their mind at all. Then we looked at the data, and what we found out was very interesting. Actually, 40% changed their minds. It happened that exactly half went one way and exactly half went the other.